Long before pyramids pierced the sky, before the desert learned to whisper secrets of time, there was a Nile. It was more than a river. It was a heartbeat of existence. From its eternal pulse, the gods of Egypt were born. Each sunrise, each flood, each breath of wind, all were divine acts. In a world where nature was life and death intertwined, the Egyptians saw not randomness, but purpose, gods in every reflection, spirits in every shadow. Ra, the sun, sailed across the sky by day and through the underworld by night, fighting darkness to rise again. Isis wept for her slain husband, Osiris, whose broken body she gathered piece by piece. And from that love, life itself was reborn. These were not just stories. They were the foundation of order, the heartbeat of a civilization that refused to die. In the beginning, there was only darkness. Then came Ra, the first light, the unblinking eye of creation. Born from the cosmic waters of none, Ra spoke the world into existence. Every dawn was his birth. Every sunset, his death. The Egyptians believed that Ra traveled across the sky in a golden bark, illuminating the world. But when he vanished beyond the horizon, his ship plunged into the underworld, where chaos waited. Serpent Apep, the embodiment of darkness, tried to devour him each night. Yet Ra always rose again. His victory was not just light over dark, it was hope over despair. To worship Ra was to believe that no matter how long the night, the sun would return. Among the pantheon of gods, none held more mystery than Osiris, the god of resurrection. Once a mortal king who ruled Egypt with justice, Osiris was betrayed by his jealous brother, Set. In a cruel twist of fate, Set murdered him, sealing his body in a coffin and casting it into the Nile. But Isis, Osiris's wife, refused to accept death's silence. Through magic and love, she searched the world for his scattered remains. When she found them, she performed the first ritual of resurrection. Osiris lived again, not in the world of the living, but as ruler of the underworld. From then on, every Egyptian believed that death was not an end, but a doorway, guarded by Osiris, who once suffered as they would. Isis was no mere goddess. She was a heart of devotion, the embodiment of divine womanhood. Her magic was life itself. She healed the wounded, commanded the winds, and bent time to her will. When her son Horus was born, she hid him from Set's vengeance, raising him in the swamps of the Nile Delta, whispering ancient spells to keep him safe. Isis became the most worshipped goddess in Egypt, her temples stretching from the sands of Philly to the shores of Rome. To the poor, she was protection. To mothers, she was comfort. To kings, she was power cloaked in love. And through her, the Egyptians learned one eternal truth, that magic is born from faith. Every order must face chaos, and chaos had a name, Set. He was a red god, born of the desert, the breaker of harmony. While his brother Osiris ruled the fertile lands, Set ruled the endless waste where life struggled to breathe. He murdered Osiris not merely for power, but because he could not bear the balance of peace. In his eyes, chaos was purity. To destroy was to cleanse. Yet even Set had worshippers, those who saw in him not evil, but strength. He was a god of warriors, storms, and rebellion. In every thunderclap over the desert, the Egyptians heard Set's laughter, wild, unstoppable, eternal. When Osiris fell, Horus rose. Born in secret, nurtured by Isis, the falcon god became the symbol of rightful kingship. His war with Set lasted for generations, battles fought not on earth, but in the heavens. Every pharaoh was believed to be the living Horus, the embodiment of divine justice. When Horus finally defeated Set, balance was restored. But victory came at a price. Horus lost an eye, torn from his face during the final duel. Thoth, the god of wisdom, restored it, and the eye of Horus became the most sacred symbol of protection, power, and vision. To this day, it endures, carved into stone, painted on tombs, worn around necks, guarding all who believe. In a world of chaos and order, someone had to record the truth. That someone was Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and time. With the head of an ibis and the hand of a scribe, he measured the heavens and balanced the universe. Thoth invented language, numbers, and the sacred art of writing, the very tools that built civilization. He stood beside Osiris in the hall of judgment, recording the fate of souls as their hearts were weighed against the feather of Ma'at, truth itself. Every word ever written was a spark of Thoth's mind. Every law, every idea, every prayer, a piece of his eternal script. Death was not the end in Egypt, it was a journey, and every soul needed a guide. That guide was Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification and tombs. It was Anubis who prepared the body, who wrapped the dead with reverence, who protected them from decay. In the silent halls of the necropolis, his shadow lingered. When a soul entered the underworld, it was Anubis who led them to judgment. To the Egyptians, his black fur symbolized rebirth, the fertile soil of the Nile after flood. He was not a god of fear, but of transition, ensuring that even in death, order prevailed. Ma'at was not just a goddess. She was a law that governed existence. Without Ma'at, there would be no sunrise, no justice, no truth. Every Egyptian, from pharaoh to peasant, lived to honor her. Her feather became the ultimate test. Placed on one side of the scale, the heart of the dead on the other. Only those whose hearts were pure could enter eternity. Even the gods obeyed Ma'at, for she was balance itself. In her silence, the Egyptians found their moral compass, a whisper reminding them that the universe survives not by power, but by harmony. The temples crumble, the sands shift, and time devours empires. Yet the gods of Egypt endure. Their names, once carved in gold, now echo in the winds of Luxor and Karnak. They live in symbols, in the eye of Horus, the Ankh of life, the scarab of rebirth. They live in us, in our endless search for meaning, for order, for immortality. The gods were never meant to die. They were humanity's reflection, our fears, our hopes, our hunger to defy death itself. In every sunrise, in every heartbeat, in every act of creation, the gods of Egypt rise again.